Several hundred miles into our voyage south, we were now safely anchored off a beautiful white sand beach in Santa Barbara. But it's a rolly anchorage with no real accommodations for cruisers to get to shore. Undaunted, we launched our wooden dinghy to try to give a beach landing a go. We heard you might get in trouble landing here with an outboard, but luckily for us, our dinghy rose quite well. Landing, on the other hand, is still quite tricky, even with small waves, and the sets coming in even here are big enough to swamp us. So, we waited patiently close to shore, and then timed our final rows after a big set had finished, and then rowed hard right behind the previous wave. Obviously, the landing part itself is something we're still working on. And there were a few instances where one, or both of us, got a little wet while getting out of the dinghy. Got swamped. Once ashore, it was only a mile or so into the main part of town, or at least a hip part of town called the Funk Zone. This was a good spot to spoil ourselves with a few treats. And it also just happened to be where Katie's brother works in a surf shop. It was good to see a familiar face. And even better that he offered to take us grocery shopping in his car. We weren't desperately needing to reprovision or anything, but it was a good opportunity to stock up on all the essentials before heading to the islands. We're breaking down our cardboard and stuff here while we have access to recycling, so we don't have to carry it out on the boat. So now we're gonna move all our groceries from these bags to this waterproof duffel bag, and then we're gonna brave the surf and try to not get swamped. Launching the dinghy is basically the same process as landing, but in reverse. Timing here is everything, and we picked a lull in the sets to run out with the dinghy. After a few awkward efforts like this one, we settled on a technique where one of us gets in and the other pushes from astern. This method gets us out of the surf much faster, and the person on the stern can just climb in, albeit a bit wet. Well, we're back on the boat after getting a little wet coming offshore, with our dinghy, launching it in some small surf. And we rinsed ourselves and our clothes off a little bit with some fresh water. And it's a sunny day, we have lots of power, so I think we're going to run the water maker. Unfortunately, when I was looking at the membranes the other day, the pre-filter membranes, the 20 micron filter was pretty dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out right now and try to get it cleaned. And then we'll put it back and then we'll run the water maker. Upside down on it. Here's the pre-filter. 20 micron. As you can see, it's pretty gross looking. I don't really think I made a difference here. And most of this discoloration is pretty finely worked into the filter. I don't know if it's really creating that big of a pressure drop. So I'm just gonna put it back. Throw on the boost pump. Pressure comes up. Any leaks back there. Oh, I spoke too soon. I see a leak down there. Problem is, once you start doing one project in the middle of another project, you have to dig out all your tools and pieces of tubes and other hardware, and the boat becomes a mess very quickly. And then navigate around the chaos here into the forward berth, and then up here I have all my fittings in a little container I'm going to dig through at this point. Our time in Santa Barbara was good to us, but we were ready to move on from this rural anchorage the locals like to call the Fool's Anchorage. It's a sunny morning, and we're looking to leave Santa Barbara, heading to the islands. Just take a peek out here. Boat's pretty much ready to go. I have some swim trunks on the bow I gotta move. Might not be any wind, so we'll decide how we're gonna move the boat. You can see the faint outline of Santa Cruz Island. Our manual windlass is not the quickest way to bring up a chain, but it's simple and it works. Plus, it's not a bad little workout. Alright, we're free. It was a perfect amount of wind to fly all of our sails, and our staysail really makes all the difference when close reaching with light winds like this. We were doing 5 to 6 knots and just enjoying the warm sun on our way to Santa Cruz Island. With Katie at the helm, we found a good spot in Prisoners Harbor to drop the anchor in about 30 feet.
32.
It's a fairly steep shoreline, and it goes from about 100 feet to 20 feet quite quickly. Good job.
You too.
We basically had this place to ourselves, other than a few daytime visitors. And it was a welcome change from the hustle and bustle of Santa Barbara. This particular area is managed by the National Park Service, which helps keep it pristine, and the island as a whole is wild and undeveloped, so we were excited to go explore. We've learned that between our inflatable paddleboard and my surfboard, we don't really need to launch the dinghy in places like this.
Bye.
As long as we're okay getting a little wet. Quite warm. No breeze. I think we're near a overlook maybe. So that's pretty exciting. Let's see what the sign says.
Wow, Chinese Harbor is 8 miles away.
Yeah.
Scorpion Ranch. Del Monte Campground is 2 miles to the left.
We didn't walk the 8 miles to Chinese Harbor today. Instead, we decided to turn around to cool down in the crystal clear water around our boat. We quickly discovered tons of red and purple urchins near shore and decided it would be fun to collect some for dinner. With a valid fishing license, you're allowed to collect up to 35 a day. We had tried to focus on the purple urchins, as they're overpopulated now and devastating kelp forest in California. But the reds here were also plentiful and much larger.
Just to be clear, I have no idea what I'm doing.
But we've watched a YouTube video.
What do you think? Should I do that cut in
I
half method?
I think you should cut its mouth out first.
Yeah. That seems to be the universal. Wow, that was so weirdly easy.
You see some gonads?
I see some uni. That looks good. There's the Aristotle's lantern.
Yeah, looks just like Aristotle's lantern.
I wasn't sure if they were gonna have anything in them.
It's a good gonad.
And that looks right. I did dissect these in college. I've mashed up some of the uni that I'm going to mix in with the butter and just make like a sauce with it. And then I saved the nicer looking pieces to kind of garnish it along with some nori. See how it tastes.
I have not cleared the table yet.
That's right.
The nice thing about a calm anchorage is that cooking and baking becomes significantly easier, and so we're doing a lot more of it. Down here in the engine bay, as I discovered when I lifted the hatch, there's a lot of black fluid around our cutlass bearing, around our stuffing box. It's normal to have some drippage, like these packing glands are supposed to drip a little bit. It seems like it may be a bit much because it was kind of splattered around the side of the hull. I've already cleaned it up. So I'm going to repack it anyway because it's been like 3 years, and we do have the packing material on the boat, so this is like a synthetic version of the material that we don't need to grease. And so we'll do 4 or 5 rings. Basically I'm going to form them around the prop shaft, and then I'm going to cut them at an angle, and then I'm going to open up the stuffing box, pull out the old rings, and a bunch of water is going to come out, and hopefully the boat doesn't sink. And then we'll shove these back in there and get it tightened up before we're underwater. And so now we're going to loosen up the stuffing box. So we're going to completely open it up with 2 wrenches, and hopefully it's not that difficult to do. Lefty loosey? Oh yeah, not hard at all. Just because I'm a little bit worried about it. Okay. Unfortunately, I might have had it too tight because I think, it's hard to tell, but it looks like there might be some shaft scouring. There's a little bit of an indent on the shaft. I don't know if that's from me or from the previous owner. But what that means is that it's going to be harder to form a seal. And there's another ring in here, so I'm going to pull that one out.
Little corkscrew.
I don't know what it's called, but it's perfect for this job. Our stuffing box actually only fits 3 rings of packing material. And to pack them sufficiently, we screwed and unscrewed the box before adding each one. Threads. Okay. Running the engine in gear for several minutes, I watched for drips and checked the temperature of the stuffing box for any signs that things were overpacked. It seems better or the same. It's still dripping, it's supposed to drip. But I think it's like 2 or 3 a minute. And it's only getting warm to the touch after a couple minutes of running in gear. So it's not hot, so we're not damaging anything. Look at that.
Nice. Oh, she's big!
Wow.
Oh yeah! Doesn't
Not
look
burnt.
burnt.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Well, plan is to leave this anchorage today, and we're going to go over around the island to Smuggler's Cove. It's very foggy out right now, which has been kind of our luck for departing so far. But we're not in a hurry. It's only like 2.5 hours away. So I don't think we're going to leave for another couple hours, so we'll probably just let the fog maybe burn itself off a little bit and see where things are, and then we'll be on our way. Oh yeah. Your face looks ridiculous.
My face?
Yeah.
What?
You just look.
Because I'm laughing?
Yeah.
Your face looks ridiculous.
While I'm busy pulling up the anchor chain at the bow, Katie helps out by driving us towards the anchor as necessary, looking for my hand signals. This makes the job a whole lot easier for the person at the windlass. Smuggler's Cove is only a few hours around the corner of the island, and without any wind today, it was a good opportunity to test the new packing material in the stuffing box by motoring.
Sit on down, beaming from place to place, from town to town. The only race is in your mind, beating the traffic just to be on time. Only say hello to be alive. Only ask questions
I think we might be out of water, which is confusing because it's showing 98% full, but I have a feeling that there's something wrong with the connection. So I'm gonna go unscrew this T connector, which is our vent and our water maker fill down here. Then I'm gonna visually peer into the tank because we don't have any other way to see into the tank. I have a feeling that it's not gonna be full. Okay. And people said I would never use it. I think it's
Not sponsored.
very useful tool. Not sponsored. Cheap Chinese boroscope. Hopefully it's charged. Power on. Ooh. Look, it wiggles.
I hate it.
Trying to figure out why the sensor. Oh yeah, well that's an empty water tank.
Whoa! Yeah, you can see it crystal clear in here.
Let's pan up to the. So I can see already. If you look at this rod here, that is where the float is supposed to be for the level sensor, but it's not at the bottom.
So it must be stuck at the top.
So why is it not? What happened here? Oh. 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 Wait, no, I don't understand what happened. Why is it stuck? Is it just because it's cheap? So I wonder if I can just poke it. Probably not. I think it's stuck. I think we're gonna have to remove the sensor.
Boo.
I guess it is very good. This table is very annoying. I didn't even get it in there.
That's what she said. Oh, there we go.
See if this helps us understand what went wrong. Oh good, now it fell. I think what happened here was that surface tension, or a bit of slime between the float and the bottom of the sensor housing, was holding the float in place.
Well, better we learned this here, where we're not out in the middle of nowhere.
We do have 2 additional smaller water tanks, but these are not in use given our proximity to land and our functioning water maker. We also keep emergency drinking water in bottles. Yeah, I'm gonna replace, we're running the water maker so we can get some water. And I'm gonna just replace the sensor sealant with butyl tape for the time being until we're confident that we have it working again.
Well, we learned a lot today.
We did learn a lot today.
Look who decided to turn on. It's the low water alarm.
We will spend a few more days here in Smuggler's Cove, but we'll soon set sail to Catalina Island. A trip that gets off to a rough start. Fouled our prop coming out of Santa Cruz Island. But will ultimately be one of our most magical yet. But that's next time.